Since the inauguration of the European Cup in 1955, we have seen 23 different clubs win the competition, whilst a total of 42 teams have reached the final. Clubs from as far as wide as Greece, Romania, and Scotland have made it to the biggest game in club football. However, even after rebranding to the Champions League in 1992, the final continues to be the domain of teams from England, Spain, Germany, and Italy. In fact, you have to go back to the 2004 final between France's Monaco and Portugal's Porto for the last time that two clubs outside the fancied Big Four leagues graced the stage. Nevertheless, Europe's biggest club competition used to be a much more level playing field, and without further ado, here are Football Attitude's 5 clubs you didn't know played in a European Cup final. Five, Malmo, 1979. Nottingham Forest fans of a certain age won't ever forget this one, as Malmo were the team that Brian Clough's men defeated in 1979 to lift the first of 2 European Cups in a row. The Swedish club, who were led by an English manager in Bob Houghton, defeated Monaco, Dynamo Kiev, Wisła Kraków, and Austria Vienna before taking on Forest in a final that is unlikely to have stuck in many neutrals' memories. A highly defensive Malmo stifled this game from the offset, and only a header from Trevor Francis, the £1 million record signing making his European club debut, would secure a 1-0 historic victory for the Trees in Munich. 4. FK Partizan, 1966. 35 years before Red Star Belgrade brought home the European Cup to Yugoslavia for the first and last time, their fiercest rivals very nearly beat them to the honor. In 1966, Partizan Belgrade became the first Eastern European team to reach the final, beating Nantes, Werder Bremen, Sparta Prague, and Manchester United in the process. In the final against Real Madrid, the Serbian club were in fact 20 minutes away from being champions. However, 2 stunning strikes from Madrid players Amancio and Fernando Serena helped the Spaniards claim the trophy for a 6th time after a 2-1 win. 3. Club Brugge, 1978. They may have failed to go any further than the group stages during their 12 Champions League campaigns, but the Belgian side enjoyed far more success when the continent's premier club competition was known simply as the European Cup. Club Brugge would defeat the likes of Panathinaikos, Atletico Madrid, and Juventus on the way to the final against English side Liverpool, and having previously lost to the Reds in the 1976 UEFA Cup final, the Belgian big boys were out for revenge. Brugge were able to keep Liverpool quiet for an hour, but would once again suffer heartbreak as Kenny Dalglish's 64th minute goal would see Liverpool take home the victory in Wembley. 2. Panathinaikos, 1971. Greece famously pulled off one of European football's biggest international upsets in the 2004 Euros, and its biggest club side very nearly achieved a similar feat at club level in the 70s. The only Greek club to ever reach a major European final, Panathinaikos vanquished Slovan Bratislava, Everton, and Red Star Belgrade before heading to Wembley for their big encounter against Dutch giants Ajax. Unfortunately for the Greeks, who were managed by the great Ferenc Puskás, they were no match for total football as Johan Cruyff's Ajax won 2-0 to lift the first of what would come to be 3 consecutive European Cups. 1. Stade de Reims, 1956 and 1959. Continually hampered by financial difficulties, France have spent the majority of the last 4 decades yo-yoing between the 2nd and 3rd tiers of French football. Thanks to golden generation players such as Raymond Kopa, Jean Vincent, and Just Fontaine, the club dominated the post-war era and won 6 Ligue 1 titles in the process. France also got the honor of playing not 1, but 2 European Cup finals, losing to Real Madrid on both occasions. In the tournament's first ever final in 1956, the French club actually took the lead twice against Alfredo Di Stefano's Madrid, ultimately losing 4-3 in one of football history's biggest what-if matches. 3 years later, and after losing star player Kopa to Madrid, they returned to the final but were comprehensively defeated 2-0 by the Spanish giants.